question. We have a secret question on every one of these episodes. So, and it's a clip, so I have to make sure that I ask it. What is the secret to building a successful business without losing your faith, family, or fun?
Man, the secret to building a successful business is I call it it's that Venn diagram with those three circles. You know why you do what you do. You know what to do, and you know what to do it so well that nobody has to tell you how to do it. The how, though, is I think where a lot of people get stuck. They overanalyze that, and if you're not careful, I'm going to be careful here. People tend to overanalyze things to the point that they focus on the first four letters of that word analyze, and they don't make they get they get the spiritual paralysis by carnal analysis, and then they don't do anything. We're old enough to understand that steering, the what's that called? It's hard to steer a parked car. So when power steering finally came out, okay, great. But if you're doing something, it's easier to steer a parked car, a moving car, than it is a parked car. And that's what we talked about early in the beginning. Action. Take action, right? My mentor says it this way: logic will not change an emotion, but action will. Do it, and you'll feel like doing it. Because where those three Venn diagrams intersect, those three circles, right smack dab in the middle, some have said that it's your calling, your purpose, your passion. I call it your fun zone. It's where you're operating at optimal levels, and it's not work to you. You enjoy it. It gives you energy. It drives you. It motivates you to be able to go in there and know why you do what you do, and the how you do it just seems to come in different opportunities that maybe you didn't plan for it. But with the right mindset, all of a sudden, man, I love this. Bring it on. Bring it on. Wow, let's do it. And a lot of times when done properly, you're actually, there's a really good friend of mine in Chicago. She's like a serial entrepreneur because every time she solves a problem, she's able to create a new business.
Yep. And then there's the next problem, right? I want to expand a little bit on what you said, where they kind of get analysis paralysis on the how, right? And it kind of intertwines back with action, right? A lot of times when you don't know what to do, right, and you go out and you just start doing, you start to get market feedback, right? And the market tells you the if you need a course correction or not, or the next steps that you need to take. Just action solves a lot of problems. You'll, at the very least, you'll learn something.
Yeah, it's the Thomas Edison thing. He didn't figure out how. He didn't fail all those times. He just figured out how not to make a light bulb. And going back to the analogy of the feedback from the marketplace, yeah, it's the airplane analogy. 95% of the time that it's in the air, it gets off course. It has to realign itself with your purpose. It's got to get, because it just gets off course. You and I in business, in calls, and we get off course, but we have to know what that number is. We have to know our analytics, our KPIs. We have to know those statistics that helps keep us in line, helps keep us in alignment with our assignment to what we were put on this earth to do. And whenever you're able to do that at a high level, you're rewarded handsomely by the community, by the marketplace. And so in the Bible, I can't remember where it goes, but it says that your gift will make room for you in the marketplace. And so what is it that you do? One other guy said that your skill, your talent is that which you do the absolute best at with the least amount of effort. And all of a sudden, if the marketplace is willing to pay for that, baby, you got a business right there.
Yeah. That is awesome. And to kind of tie things together again, when you're using that plane analogy of going off course, how beneficial it is to have that radio control, that guy in the air traffic control, tell him, hey, you're a little bit off course. That's the coach, right? It looks like you're going a little bit off course. Let's course correct and get you back where you're going.
Yeah, the GPS we talked about. I know you've probably never missed a turn. I do. But What does it do? It recalculates, recalibrates, it redoes it. And that's how you know, right? And I like these little acronyms, acrostics, game of words, play on words, whatever. But you can't grow if you don't know.
That's right.
But once you know what that number is, once you know how many clients, once you know how many social media posts, once you know how many radio ads, how many TV spots, how many drivers in front of your billboard, once you know those analytics, now you know what you need to do in order to get a new client. Because if you're in business and you're having to wonder where your next client is coming from, baby, you're already in trouble and you don't even know it.
Yep. Yeah, I want to kind of put it in perspective, like the timeline perspective of having a coach and not having a coach. Because I've known plenty of entrepreneurs, myself being one of them in the beginning, of not having a coach. How long is you're really lengthening your timeline when you don't have someone that can help you lead you down a path, right? And you're really shrinking that timeline. It all depends on what industry you're in, who your mentor is. There's a lot of variables in that, but undoubtedly your timeline will shrink once you get a coach and you are coachable.
Yeah, I've heard it said this way. I think this one was John Maxwell. He said that you can't simply kill time without injuring eternity. And so the longer you put off making that decision to get a coach, it doesn't have to be me. There's coaches everywhere. I mean, the coaching business is now up in the billions of dollars. So you can find you a really good coach. There's some expensive coaches out there, but I think every coach is worth their weight in gold if they help you solve a problem. I mean, my coach said it this way: if you're able to help solve somebody's problem, or if you're able to help somebody's dream come true, what's that worth?
Thanks for checking out the Profitable Christian Business Podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and share.